Why do you only have $190 in your account? Killing you. That's insane. That's a we're never getting out of this debt ever again. So
I'm just trying to avoid having her have to work a second job, honestly.
well, I don't care. Okay. She can not get a second job and you guys can do 23 years.
That's why we were considering selling the house.
I'm entering a place of no hope right now. You have $131,000.
No, I know, not including student loans. A majority of that is my debt.
Well, so she signed up for.
No, I know.
But right now, your needs being 93% of your income. That's like actual financial insanity. We put up the house for sale.
The tools to change your life have just been upgraded. Download my budgeting app, rebranded to DollarWise today, and start your free trial. Sign up for the annual version, and I'll send you my budget-friendly cookbook that can't be purchased anywhere else, and I'll personally sign it and mail it directly to you. Download the DollarWise budgeting app today and take advantage of your free trial.
Joshua, welcome back to Financial Audit. It's been a second since I've talked to you. August 7th, 2023 was your upload. So we're talking 2 years since the upload. Now that is a major time progression since an original episode for doing a follow-up. So I'm super excited to talk to you. Now, at the time, you were a firefighter EMT making $61,250 a year. And on average, $3,400 was hitting your bank account. You went to police academy, but you ended up switching over to the fire academy, and you were doing lots of career jumping. And I was very curious if a lot of the debt that was coming in general in your life was because of all this career jumping. And one of the funny career jumping weird things you had is you worked at Cabela's, so you got a Cabela's credit card and then transferred that balance of $1,000 to a Chase credit card. But you were doing fine until you worked for a financial firm as a contract employee, and then you didn't get your contract renewed, so they let you go last minute. And this is why I emphasize how important it is to have an emergency fund, and I hope you do at this point. But once you got laid off, you used your credit cards as emergency fund for basic necessities. Now, you're married to dual household income, and 1 month before we filmed the episode, you set up a second checking account in order to put your overtime pay into that specifically, which was a really weird organizational way to do it. But, that's what you ended up doing. And I asked if you were budgeting. Instead, you said no. So we were using these separate bank accounts instead of actually budgeting. And you were living paycheck to paycheck in your own way, in your own definition of your life. And you thought you were a 2 out of 10 Hammer Financial Score. We saw you spent like $600 in the last month alone just eating out. And you only had $27 available credit on your credit card. And the minimum monthly payment alone was $330, which was 10% of your income. $72,000 in student loans, and you were also Venmoing a lot. Now, a lot of the cause is because at the fire department, you guys were doing lots of grocery shopping, group grocery shopping, and we'd be Venmoing back and forth. And your retirement, of course, at 33 at the time of filming, so I'm assuming you're 35 now, was dramatically behind for your age. And we talked about maybe selling the house, but, the interest rate was at 3.25%. You said you'd like a bigger house, and because you guys wanted to have a second kid, which totally could have happened by now. So lots of things throwing out, and I'll go into what the debt was real quick, and then I want to hear what life has been looking like. But we had a credit card. Cabela's card, $1,000, 20%. Wife's credit card, $1,200. Then personal loan, $22,296.37. It was at 5.7%. Then a wife's car loan, 2016 Ford Edge at 4.54%. Wife's student loans, $12,000 at 4.6%. His student loans, which is your student loans, $72,000. Then a mortgage, $230,000. We already talked about that interest rate. Your wife's checking account was $188. Yours was $190. Savings was $35, and retirement was $5,707. And that alone is scary. So tell me, 2 years, what has happened? Because that's a lot of time.
Yeah, so a lot's happened, actually. So we did have a second kid, so he's actually just about a year and a half.
Congratulations. That's exciting.
Thank you. Yeah. So, and he was planned, but then we did sell the house. I don't remember exactly how much we made on it after selling.
When did you sell?
Paying off the house. Shortly after coming to you, actually. So that was August. We would have sold December of 23. So,
Okay. What
yeah,
pushed
we
us
were
to
on the
sell?
market. Meeting with you and then like just talking with you about, yeah, it was a really good interest rate, but at the same time, like that interest rate on that mortgage was 3.25, but then we have a lot of other outstanding debts with even higher interest rate.
Yeah.
So we kind of talked about it and we thought paying off the really high interest and then potentially getting into a house at 5 or 6% later on down the line would be smarter in the long run
Well,
than having
especially since
credit
you guys
cards.
wanted to upgrade for the
Yeah,
space of the
right.
new kid. Yeah.
Right. So we did that. We paid off her car. So her car has been paid off since December of 23.
Wow.
Paid off the credit card that I had. So that's been paid off since December of 23. Now, when I sent it to you, I think there was a balance of like 495. I mean, that'll be paid off come next payment. Like I just put little bits here and there.
So it's
I don't
paid
put
off
anything
every
like
month.
right. So that was paid off. The personal loan, I guess I forgot about, but that's paid off. Literally the
Well, that's a
only debt.
chunky one.
Yeah, so that's paid off. Her student loans are not. So the only thing that aren't paid off are her student loans and my student loans. That's
Okay.
it. So everything else has been paid off.
Now, how much of the
She
paying off came from selling of the house?
everything. So if it got paid off, it was from selling the house.
Okay. And we haven't found ourselves going more into debt.
No.
Good. See, that's the concern. And what 2 years ago, now me would have potentially slapped myself for is like a lot of people use it as a shortcut. And if you don't change your behavior first, you'll sell your house, then you won't have an asset,
Right.
and then you'll rack up the debt again without changing your behavior. But I'm glad you did. And what were you guys doing that was this big behavior change? Were we sitting down, building a budget, discussing the finances on a monthly basis? What happened?
You guys are destroying your financial future, spending like you have unlimited money, but you're just going further in the hole.
What do you mean?
You have a literal $1,100 monthly car payment.
Yeah, it's getting a little tight.
$264 in monthly subscriptions.
I didn't know we had that many.
You guys have to take control of your finances.
How?
Just download the DollarWise budgeting app. It shows all of your expenses in one place and helps you monitor your finances so you're not blowing hundreds of dollars a year on things you don't need. Download the DollarWise budgeting app today and take advantage of your free trial.
So we still haven't really built a budget. We're really bad about that. But essentially what happened was we paid off the debt and then that opened up a bunch of money every month, obviously from like the minimum payment of the credit card being over 300. And then I had the personal loan and she had the car loan. I mean, that opened up, I think just under $1,000 a month. So it made it to where we didn't need credit cards anymore. Like we didn't need to put stuff on credit cards. So essentially we're just living with, buying only what we can afford.
Yeah.
That being said, we're still pretty bad about spending money on food. Like we do cook a lot and we do buy a lot of groceries. But we're pretty bad about being beat at the end of the day, with two kids and whatnot. And so like we'll go out to eat or whatever. And we have noticed recently that's, I mean, because it's getting progressively more expensive just to eat out. I mean, kind of like ridiculously so. So we've noticed that and we're trying to cut back on that. But really the big thing is just not going into debt is the biggest behavior change. So like her car's paid off. I currently drive a 2007 Honda Civic Si with like 250,000 miles on it. So like it's paid off, obviously, paid cash for that. And then kind of just not buying things we don't need is kind of what we've done. We do still need a budget because that's obviously a big thing and we could be putting more money aside. We currently do have an emergency fund. So that's something different from last time. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is just getting out of the debt, utilizing the money that we were paying, paying those minimum payments with to actually buy the things we need and just not buying things we don't need.
Yeah. Now, again, going out to eat is not inherently a bad thing. I never talk about it as that is bad, that is evil. It is more, what does your finances look like? It's, you can do it.
Right.
If your finances suggest you can do it. If your finances say you can't, then you can't. So let's go through these finances and see whether or not it says you could.
Okay.
First, jobs. You and the wife.
Yeah.
What does income look like?
So we both have the same jobs we did 2 years ago. She has gotten a raise. I don't remember what she was making 2 years ago, but she's making, I think, 60,000 a year, before tax and everything.
What hits
And
y'all's
then,
account on a monthly basis?
She gets 98 or just right at 900 every week. So she's paid weekly. So she's getting 900 a week. And then right now I'm pulling in just over 4,000 a month.
Okay.
And I got a raise as well. Like we got a raise as a department. So that upped to, I think I'm at 69,400, something like that right now.
Cool. So we're talking $7,600 a month net for the household. Okay. So Cabela's card last time, we don't have that. That was paid off. Now this Freedom card, this is the one that you said, well, the Cabela's has changed to the Freedom, but you said that you pay this off every single month, right?
Yes.
And I want to see if that suggests to be correct. That it does. We haven't paid a single cent of fees or interest this year. So well done. Now the purchasing on here is immense, $1,687.69, which of course those purchases alone for you guys' net income is about 22%. So let's see where that's all going. Well, Chick-fil-A, Auntie Anne's, Costco, Old Navy, Amazon, Crumble, very small purchases of Kroger, Amazon, small purchases of Kroger, CVS, Costco, Tiff's Treats, Crumble, Donut Place, Car Wash, Amazon, going in, getting some actually, no, I'm going to call that gas. Chick-fil-A, Amazon, Chicken Finger, that's going in and getting some BS for sure. Panera Bread, Amazon, Excellent Cafe, going in, getting some BS, Spotify, going and getting some BS, Fireworks, Amazon, Auntie Anne's, Dunkin', Cinnabon, Stuffers, that's gas, Donut Place, Furniture. Well, it's only $5. I don't know what the heck was going on there, but going and getting some BS, Dunkin' Donut, Amazon, Sonic, Chick-fil-A, Showcase Hoops, Stella's Ice Cream, Old Navy, Donut Place. It's a lot of spending. Vast majority on bullshit for sure. Again, that is not inherently a bad thing. Again, if we're doing 50, 30, 20, we are approaching that 30 that is supposed to go to fun. And let's see. And are we 50, 30, 20, and 100% when we have low interest, student loans? I don't know. Let's find out. Okay. So student loans. Total payment due $0. So, okay. What's going on with these? What is so you were hold on. You were at 72,000. Why is it 78?
Yeah, because it's going up. So I've been paying. So I'm doing the. I don't even know the name of the payment plan, but for like first responders, I guess, or like government employees, and so basically where you pay for like 20 years, and then whatever's left at 20 years.
You want to be doing for 20 years though?
Honestly, right now I'm paying $100 a month, so it does not bother me.
Yeah, it's fair, but it is risk over your head, and it affects your debt to income ratio as you go and try to get a new house again. So it's not like it's this. But as far as the debts go, it's certainly not the worst debt. Now, is any of that changing under the Big Beautiful Bill, though?
So no, not according to what I looked up, because I saw that that bill passed, and then I saw that some of the payment options were changing. It shouldn't, but I actually need to call them today just to confirm, just to see if my payment itself is going to change. The plan itself isn't, but the payment might.
We can look into the. I've looked a lot into the student loans that are changing coming next summer and whatnot, and the repayment options. But as far as first responders, I haven't looked into that specifically. We can find something to send it to you. But I will say, at least for most people income driven, we have the RAP plan, which is the repayment assistance plan. But that alone takes 30 years until anything's forgiven for anyone. And it depends on your income situation. In your guys' income situation, the household for the student loans, you guys would likely be required to pay about 10% of your income towards it. But again, for the first responder specific thing, I would need to look into that. Okay. Now, wife's student loans was at $12,000 last time. What is that?
I think it's 10,000 something, if I remember correctly.
And what's that minimum now?
She pays 158, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay. All right, creators. Whether you're already making content, building a brand, or just dreaming of your own videos, it's hard work, but it doesn't have to be. Today's sponsor, InVideo AI, takes
everything you hate about video creation and flips it on its head. InVideo is an all-in-one tool that takes your ideas, whether it's a recipe, an explainer, or a product ad, and turns them into complete full-length videos. No crazy editing software, no steep learning curves, just type out what you need and InVideo does the rest. Here's how it works. Step 1, just type in your idea. Let's say you want to create a 30 seconds ad video for YouTube about KFC, but if it made electric cars, with things like wide cinematic shots and close-ups of the product from time to time.
Introducing the Colonel Mobile, where finger-licking good meets zero emissions. Enjoy the convenience of KFC's drive-thru with our cutting-edge, eco-friendly technology. KFC Electric. Finger-licking good for the planet.
Step 2, fine-tune it. Want upbeat music? Type, make the music more lively, and change the backtrack. It's as easy as that. Need narration? Clone your voice so it sounds just like you. The edits are easy as sending a text.
Introducing the Colonel's electric bucket. Finger licking good and good for the planet.
And it's not for just videos like the ad we just made. You can use InVideo AI for storytelling, product ads, TikToks, or even full-length YouTube explainers. It's like having a full production team in your pocket without the crazy costs. This tool is game-changing for creators at any level. You can try it for free, and trust me, you'll wonder how you ever made videos without it. So if you haven't checked out InVideo AI already, go check it out right now for free. Use my link and code in the description. This will save you hundreds of dollars that you would otherwise spend on editing, animating, and other production costs. Try out the future of video creation today.
Okay, then we have a checking account, 1,288, certainly better than last time. Lots of Venmoing and Zelling out. Same thing as last time.
Yeah, so my wife and I Venmo and Zelle each other a lot. Excuse me. We plan on combining our checking account. I'll be honest, so I don't want to go to Wells Fargo. She doesn't know if she wants to go to Prosperity because there's not many outside of Texas, which is fair enough. So we're basically kind of hung up because I don't really want I don't want Chase, Wells Fargo, or any of the big banks. I like Prosperity.
I'll be honest, I have Chase and I've had nothing but good experiences.
Okay, well then we might look into Chase, but I don't want Wells Fargo. But
Yeah,
that's a lot of the Zelling and stuff back and forth is that I Venmo our lawn guy. My lawnmower broke and I just have not been in a spot to just go buy a new one, so I've just been paying. I got $40.
It's not repairable.
It probably is, but I tried to fix it. I tore down the carburetor and I thought I fixed it, and it's still not running. So there's a shop. They want, I think, 150 to tear it all down, replace the carb, and just make sure it's running.
Yeah, but how many lawn mowings is that? Like 5?
No, yeah, exactly 5. Yeah. No, I get that. I kind of got lazy just because I've been in paramedic school since January. So we go to class Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And on top of that, we do clinicals at hospitals and stuff. And so I've just been really beat. And I'll be honest, I just got kind of lazy.
I don't blame you. And again, I'm okay with paying someone to mow your lawn. I mean, I do. It's like it's as far as like value of my time versus money versus whether or not I can afford it. Yes, I can do it. And if you can, you can. However, I'm looking at this checking account and I'm immediately seeing, I mean, we got Amazon, 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 Amazon. Like, I'm starting to become afraid with the Gold's Gym and the Freddy's Frozen Custard, Amazon, cold food service. So these are like, what, a vending machine, sushi, like Whataburger, Amazon, car wash. It's like Amazon. It's like with this stuff and I'm not going to go through this whole page, just like endless amount of Buc-ee's. There's this bull. So endless going out to eat, Amazon. The vending machine, sushi. This is crazy. We got Netflix, Whataburger, Buc-ee's Cafe, Papa John's, Amazon. Like, this is crazy. So if we start putting in the lawn mowing with this, you're over the 30% easy for spending. Spending. I wouldn't be surprised if it was basically 50%, if not even more. Now, you guys don't own anymore, right?
Correct. And a lot of that Amazon too, we buy a lot of like household goods, like toilet cleaner, cleaner wand refill, stuff like that. So, and instead of like we're going to the store and buying a week or two at once, since we have Prime, we'll just order like one thing here, one thing there, like when we realize we need it. So some of that Amazon is BS for sure.
Which I can appreciate, but there was also lots of
Yeah.
grocery store spending in there as well, which then gets
Yeah.
negated. So you guys are spending clearly way too much. Now you've, we talked about selling the house. That wasn't necessarily a bad problem because of where the market was at the time, and I'm glad you did because the market hasn't been much better, especially where you're at. But it's actually been worse. So you probably got out at a good time. Now, however, the thing is, you got out of the asset, which is usually one of the largest pieces of retirement and security for most middle class Americans in the United States by the time you retire. And instead of starting to save for the next one, you're just going and blowing all this money. So we're going at this in a bad way. You guys are objectively going out to eat multiple times a day, the vending machine, and lots of bullshit spending across the table. And what's your retirement at?
Oh, sorry. I think right now it's at 33,000.
So it
I
has
still-
gone up happily, but you are still
Right.
with where you guys are at for this household retirement, which should be just about $150,000 right now.
Yeah. So now in 2 years, when I'm vested in my department, they match 2 to 1. So like
Okay.
if I were to be vested right now, it would be like 99. It'd be just under 100,000. So the 33 is what I put in.
Yeah.
When I hit that vested mark, it'll go up, 200%.
Which is great, but
whatever.
you guys should be at 150,000. So again, what
Yeah.
I am saying is if we're doing 50, 30, 20, 50% to needs, 30% to wants, 20% for retirement, I don't think we're hitting that 20% for retirement.
Yeah. No, we're not. We do have 14,000 in a high yield savings account.
I did
too.
see that, and that is good. I'm happy
Yeah.
to see the fully funded emergency fund. That is a big win. That is a big win. I'm super excited about that. But what I need us to start doing, let me see, is there anything else on this? No, just your, okay, well, I'm seeing 16,000 in this retirement, but I'll trust your number. Maybe you're combining hers. But either way, what I need to see from you guys is, yes, you've gotten out of debt. It was less from behavior change. It was more from selling the house. But now, if we wanted to upgrade our space, get another house again at some point, especially if rates start going down next year, we don't know. The economic situation right now is definitely in flux. What I need you to start doing is throwing money aside, man. This is how I would personally live. I would do 40% on needs because you guys have a strong household income. So I know you don't need to be living full 50% if you need, especially with your minimum payments being low, even for the student loans. 40% on needs. I would do 20% to investing.
Okay.
And then personally, I'm doing 20% to saving for a down payment on a house and then 20% on fun.
Okay.
That's what I'm
Okay.
personally doing. Because you
Okay.
want to, the thing is, like, maybe rates won't go down next year. Maybe rates will even go up. Who even knows? But the thing is, I want you to be prepared. The moments rates start going down, you're able to then jump into the market. And the best way to do that is to be saving this money. But I also need you to be saving for money for retirement at the same time. So that's how I'm structuring my life, 40, 20, 20, 20.
Okay. Okay, yeah, and we were looking to get into a house actually probably this December. So we've been in the rental we're in right now for 2 years. Well, it'll be 2 years in December.
How are you doing that? With what money?
Well, so we qualify for loans where we only need 1% down.
But that's not
And-
necessarily great because especially in more boom and
Right.
bust towns like Texas where we build a lot of housing, same with Florida, that's going to put you in a dangerous position if you are forced to sell for whatever reason. Family emergency, job losses,
Yeah.
who knows? But if you have 1% down in a boom and bust town, you become negative equity immediately.
Yeah, no, I know. And that's a risk we ran with the last house, but we got lucky with the last one because we bought pre-COVID. So obviously it went through the roof. I don't know. It's just the cost of housing has gone up so much here. So like our house, for
Yeah.
instance, we bought for 245 like out the door after everything was finalized, and we sold for I think 320, and then now it's valued at like 345. So like the houses that we're looking at now are between 350 and 400.
Yeah.
And so I just don't know if 20% of 400,000 is realistic.
Well, 20%, I'm not necessarily saying 20%, but I would shoot for 10% for sure, which I think you guys can
Okay.
with your strong income. I'm not, there's a big difference between 1 and 20%, right? My first
Yeah.
house I got was 10% down, and that's fine. It gives you that flexibility in case of emergencies. 1% just gets a little dangerous.
Yeah.
So again, and it's not even saying you're going to be able to fully hit 10% because I want you to get in when the market makes sense, when it makes sense for your life. But if we start chucking 20% of your income aside right now, it gives you that best chance to be able to throw something chunky down. So that's what I'm personally doing. 40, 20, 20, 20. It gives you a chance to catch up in retirement. It gives you $1,520 a month for fun, which is incredible because you guys have a strong income. That's a lot of money for fun. That is, if you guys on average are going out to eat $20 a time, that's 76 times going out to eat. Come on. Like we can, and that's, that's a cheap going out. We're talking fast food in that instance, but, call it double and you can go out to eat once a day still as a family and, call it $40, and that's, we're talking Applebee's at that point, right? So there's a lot we can do, and you can stretch things in a lot of different ways, but I would 50, 20, 20, 20, okay?
Okay.
I'd love to talk to you either end of year or spring next year and see what the housing situation looks like. I think that could be an interesting conversation.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
What do you think of this? 40, 20, 20, 20.
It's good. I mean, I guess just taking into account obviously like our rent and our all that usually lands around $2,700 a month, and then we have childcare, which is $1,050 a month. So like a good chunk of it, about 4,000 is picking up right there.
Yeah, there you go. You just have to live your needs beyond that to a minimal style. Yeah. And if anything, I would pull from fun if you ever need to, an extra 5%.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Just don't pull from retirement. Critical for you is I need you to invest in retirement.
Okay. And it's funny. So we actually, something that showed me too, how relatively easy it is to put money aside. We just went, I guess it was a vacation, but we paid for it in cash. So it was like $1,600 by the time we got back, but we drove to Idaho and stayed with my mom, my stepdad, and then drove back. Because they live up there. So it was time to see them, but also it counted as a vacation because we did stuff along the way, like Carlsbad Caverns and New Mexico stuff. So, but we made a decision that we were going to save, and we were only going to spend the money that we had saved. So we had $1,600. A little more than that because we had some gift cards or whatever, but we had $1,600 cash, and that was what we used. So
no, yeah, you guys have the skills. Let's get on the budgeting app. I'll get you guys on. We already have, but if you didn't get on the budgeting app, use the DollarWise budgeting app. Obviously, you get that for free. So you and your wife make this budget, sit down, discuss it multiple times a month, and then eventually it becomes like once a month. Just try to budget out the 40, 20, 20, 20, and I think that will work fine for you guys.
Okay.
All right. Let's get you your updated Hammer Financial Score. Remember, if you want to get your Hammer Financial Score, it is a free assessment. See where you stand in the world of finances, where you need to improve, and where you're doing great. Go to calebhammer.com for that. So last time, your budget score was 2 out of 10. Your budget is still not great. Money needs to go to retirement, but you guys are still living within your means. This is not being allocated properly, but you're still at a 6 out of 10 because you're not going in like reverse. Debt was 1 out of 10 last time. It is certainly substantially better. You got more. You still have risk with the student loans, but I'm glad that we're debt free outside of that. I'll give you a 5 out of 10 there. Emergency fund, fully funded. Happy to see that. 10 out of 10. Actually, I don't think it's fully funded based on what you told me your needs are. So let's get it up to about 20, but I'll call it a 7 out of 10 for now. Retirement, I started to make a little bit of progress, but still not enough. You're about a 3 out of 10 because you're like 33% there. Real estate, well, that's gone down purposefully, but that's okay. You'll bounce back up. This is the way of the world. We go boop, 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 boop. So that's a 0 out of 10. But let's see. You were a 2 out of 10 last time. Let's see where you are today. It's going to be a Hammer Financial Score. Rounded up. Big progress in 2 years. 2 out of 10 to a 4.5 out of 10. Well done, sir. Nice. Love to see that. Keep going. I'll talk to you in like 6 to 9 months, and let's talk that housing situation. But if you need anything along the way, make sure you sign up. And guys, don't forget to download the DollarWise budgeting app. Sign up for the free trial. And if you like it, take the annual version. Saves a lot of money. And I will send you our budget-friendly cookbook, signed by me, mailed directly to you. I'll see you guys in the next one.